being in your power. So when we are in our power, we get a feeling that we can accomplish things easily with very little stress and very little anxiety. And obviously that's a place that we ultimately all want to reside in. And I guess the truth of the matter is that we're not always in every moment possibly going to be sitting in our power. So how do we quickly and easily bring ourselves back into our power? And a part of that is to make the time once a week to sit with yourself and acknowledge things that have transpired in the course of that week. And it doesn't have to be on a Monday or a Friday or a Sunday, typical weekdays. You can pick any random day and just make that part of the routine. And we're going to discuss routines. There's a section in the book on routines which you can go to, which has information on this. But I'm going to share with you how it really helps you to be in your power to write down a journal. And this can be really simple and really easy. Sometimes the process means that you need to sit and really contemplate and reflect. And that gives you a greater experience to sit into your power. So we're creating moments of reflection to allow us to be in our power more often, or in a state of being in our power as often as we possibly can. And that's going to help uncover hidden truths. It's going to help us with big lessons that are sometimes hard but are necessary to get through. Because sometimes what on the surface appears to be a negative situation and can become very niggling is actually a really fantastic outcome down the track. But we just can't see it at the time because we're stuck in it. And this is a part of the growth and the lessons and the learnings. And we feel like we want to be in our power in every situation so that we can experience our ultimate joy. But in reality, there are times when things are slightly not going to plan. And how do we deal with that? How do we deal with that and be in our best mindset? And this is where writing down and having that reflection gives you the opportunity to spend quality time with the pause. So this is a really important part, the pause. The pause allows us to really focus in on what's going on, and through that allows us to stand in our power more often than not. The best thing about yesterday and last week and the week before that and the month before that and the year before that, those reflections help us to be a better person and learn from our experiences and allow us to create and grow and stand in our power. And by removing past feelings of loss of control or, possible sabotage, and just allowing the time to take the pause once a week and reflect and journal. Again, it just really does. I can't stop talking about this because I feel that it's something that is really beneficial and really powerful. And I love those moments where we get those little click, download, okay, this is what happened, then this is how I handled it, and this is all part of the once a week reflection journal, to ultimately be in our best selves. And okay, so this or that happened, and yep, this is how I responded to that situation. But you know what? Gee, looking back on that now, I can see how this benefited me. And I can see how next time I can tweak this or tweak that. And that's really important, to give yourself that pause and give yourself that time to acknowledge what's really going on. And the amazing thing about that is that we have more sense of being in our own power. And when we focus on the things that we love and the things that we loved about yesterday and last week as part of our weekly reflection, and then, you know, what was amazing about that, and then making a note about what you loved about the week, it really does give you a lovely sense of accomplishment. And it can be the smallest of things we're talking about here. Like, you know, any opportunity to make yourself feel good and acknowledge yourself is such a positive thing. And it removes any defaults of feeling unhappy or guilty, because, you know, you've acknowledged that, you've written it down, and it's great to go back. So many little gold nuggets in this, and little and big lessons learned when you go back over your weekly diary. So that's a really important part of being in your best power and being in control. So now I'd like to share with you another part about being in your power, and that is to get super honest with yourself. What's your truth? What's best for you? What's best for you spiritually? And walking away from anything dishonest, and that may cause you problems down the track, and it's really not worth it. So those red flags that you feel within yourself, which could sort of manifest as a feeling of anxiety, it's a red flag, and it's saying, hey, do more research, get more information. And, you know, this is really helpful, because that's going to help you be in your power. Because when you know, think, oh, look, it'll be okay, and then it doesn't work out okay, then obviously that's you not being in your power. So it's really important to have your key motivation to be coming from a place of your highest good, and taking the time to seek out helpful people, you know, because if you're situated in a difficult position, then you're not going to be able to step into your power effectively if you're not being super honest with yourself. So a really big part of being in your power is to be super honest with yourself, and that gives a much better outcome. It provides a sense of less worry, and the main objective is to say, what's my intention with this? Being in your power is about coming from what your intention is. So is your intention for your highest good? And in business or a transaction or a business transaction, is this in the highest good of the person that I'm dealing with, for them and for myself? And that's all part of the enrichment of abundance and the exchange of money and the flow and the lovely figure eight. So you say to yourself, oh, does that make me feel good? Does that make me happy? Is that making the other person feel good? And then you'll know if it's the right time or not. So keeping your eyes on your intention is so important for being in your power. Focus first on what you want. Joyfully, happily, fearlessly pursue your dreams. And things, if those dreams are coming from a heart-centered space and you're bringing into it your will from your heart instead of bringing it from necessarily the head, well then, you're going to be in your power. So believe in yourself, focus on your successful project, and don't necessarily focus all the time on pleasing others, because that will keep you stuck. That will keep you out of your power when you're chasing and chasing and chasing. That's just going to lead to burnout, and that's going to take you out of your heart space, too much into your head space, and away from your highest good and the highest good of the people that you're working with or you want to be working with. So talking about the pause again, come back to what's good for me is usually good for everybody else. Coming back to your intentions, having the pause and being still. That's a big part of launching successful businesses, launching successful things in all area of your life. Is this in my highest good? Is this in the highest good of the person that I am dealing with? So another part of being in your highest good, and obviously being able to act out from a place of happiness, is pacing yourself, recharging yourself, because overworking is not good, but obviously being passionate about what you do is a great experience. So it's fantastic to be creative and passionate and of service, but also it's really important to come back to your why. What feels good for me? Listening to your intuition, listening to your body, listening to your health, and taking a moment to stop and have a look around you and say, is this good for my business? Is this good for myself? And that will give you an opportunity to be sincere, to plan a secure future better, and to bring about wisdom. And that is just such an important part of everything that you're doing on a daily basis, is taking the time to recharge yourself and be in your flow and have that lovely, happy energy. It's too easy to kind of get into stress and into stress hormones. And when we do that, unfortunately, we can tend to hold unnecessary fat around places like our belly, and then we lose control until we find ways to slow down, the adrenal stress response. Our bodies are programmed from ancient times that we either, if we're getting too stressed out, it's like a starvation or a drought. So when we do take time to slow down, and it's okay to slow down, and it's okay to be in our flow, that's when we're going to find the best insights. The greatest thing that you can do for yourself sometimes is to just take time out and let things settle, and then you can come back, look at your journal, look at things from that other perspective, and then go on. And then go on and explore, and then go on and be authentic, and then go on and be in control and produce a great product or a great business or an amazing family life. All of the things that you really want to be and do are within your reach. And there's some really simple, easy to come back to techniques to help serve you and serve you in your best and your highest good.